it's time to push your creative brand to the next level, you might realize that it is a lot more expensive than your budget can bear. All of a sudden, those investment opportunities from Spotter, Creative Juice and other investors may seem very attractive. But when is the right time for you to take on that investment, and what is the biggest mistake you should avoid? There are two important questions you must answer before you even entertain a single investment offer. Where will you invest the money, and what will happen if your money runs out or you never take on that investment? Receiving an injection of capital is exciting, but that feeling can be quickly replaced by the anxiety of wasting the money or this opportunity. This is why the first thing you have to do before a single cent hits your bank account is to decide how will you deploy this new capital and how would this investment change your company. If you're raising 100K, you should have a plan on how you'll spend it down to a single dollar. Then you should be able to articulate how will this 100K grow your business. New product launch? New video format? How would you make your money back? If you cannot outline a crisp plan and a timeline, you should say no to an investment even if the investor promises no constraints and no pressure. That chunk of change in your bank account will be a distraction if you don't know how to deploy it. You might want to actually use the investment as a safety cushion to do more of the same. There is a better way for you to do it that we're going to discuss in a minute. Before we go there, ask yourself, what will happen if you don't take on this investment? Or you take it, but it doesn't pan out as expected? Will it negatively affect your business, or would you find yourself back in the exact same position? Investigating this point is important because the risk of a massive negative outcome to your business might be the sole reason why you don't or you do take the investment. Leasing your back catalog or taking on an equity partnership can be distracting, and if the risks are high, it might be better maintaining the same steady trajectory and not take on more than you can chew. In my video about Jeff Bezos, Jeff made this great point about how much time you should spend investigating major decisions like this one.
If you make the wrong decision, if it's a two-way door decision, you walk out the door, you pick a door, you walk out, and you spend a little time there. It turns out to be the wrong decision. You can come back in and pick another door. Some decisions are so consequential and so important and so hard to reverse that they really are one-way door decisions. You go in that door, you're not coming back. And those decisions have to be made very deliberately.
This may feel like a lot of homework, but as a former venture capital and private equity analyst, I can tell you that these are the same exact questions startup founders ask themselves when considering the investment. At least those investors who want to make the most of that opportunity and not just get overly excited about the check. When companies consider multi-million-dollar injections, they have to carefully plan how they will deploy the capital, and similarly, what would be the repercussion of saying no to the offered investment. Raising money still costs money. So you better have a plan to make return on that investment, and now you have extra mouths to feed in the form of your investors. This is why when thinking about just doing more of the same, I teased a better solution. If you have a predictable, healthy revenue, a loan would be a much better solution. Sure, the interest rates are high right now, but they were never zero to small businesses like us. So you could still consider the loan today. The primary concern is that you will have to pay cash in monthly installments for this investment. But if you have a predictable revenue, you can plan and budget around this additional expense. The benefit of the debt financing is that you don't give up a portion of your company that will hopefully and eventually get bigger thanks to this investment. You also don't introduce a third party that may try to influence your work and distract you from your job on hand. And yes, there are plenty of horror stories where things go wrong when it comes to loan investments and seized assets, failed payments, ruined credit scores. There is a lot to be considered. But as the saying goes, there's no free lunch. Whether you take on an equity or you take on a debt, there's always some consideration to be made. And it's all about how you plan ahead for both the opportunities that you're going to invest in and that risk that you're going to take on. I know that I lumped in multiple different investment sources, and one could make a very strong argument in support of every one of these three types of investments or any other investment vehicle I did not mention. My main point is that this framework remains the most crucial first step you must take before you consider any type of investment. The worst mistake I've seen companies and creators make: you get overly excited about the check. You rush in multiple different directions, slowly wasting money. And at the end, you're stuck with another equity holder, missing revenue from the back catalog, or a loan payment you have to make every month with no actual growth to show for it. Develop a very firm plan and answer to these two groups of questions. Maybe even experiment making a smaller investment on your own first. Don't try to wing it. Investment can be a poison chalice that will ruin your business if not applied correctly. Okay, my goal is not to freak you out, but I want you to feel that tension as you make a decision, because again, there's no free lunch, and no matter where the money is coming from, there is a bill due at some point in the future. And I want you, as someone who is trying to build a small business or maybe even grow it to a larger enterprise, be considerate of all of these options and all of the different kinds of outcomes that you can achieve thanks to whether you take on equity or debt financing as a creator. We are here through these frameworks building a sustainable creative business, and I hope that some of you will build those businesses outside of just your bedroom where you shoot and record the videos every day. And also maybe I will partner with one or two of you to talk through specific projects and help you take them to the next level. So reach out if you ever want to chat about this framework or any other frameworks I posted in the past, and I'll see you next Saturday. Peace.